Hello, my beautiful twin flames, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So this video is really designed for you to assist you on your twin flame journey. So this video is to answer the questions that I put out on my Instagram for you to ask. So this video is to answer your questions regarding the twin flame journey, as well as questions you may have had for regarding the inner child. So let's get right into the first question. We have, can twin flames be happy when they are in the relationship, or is it that after learning their lesson? So great question. And again, I want to thank everyone for sending in their questions. So, can twin flames be happy in the relationship? Absolutely. Yes, it is possible. That usually happens at the very beginning when twin flames meet and they connect. And then as time progresses, usually after, I want to say just like in general, maybe after the first 3 months of really connecting, that's when things come up that cause disruption in the connection. But yes, twin flames can be happy in the relationship. Twin flames can even be happy in the relationship while being in separation. It is very possible. So you're asking about lessons. Oftentimes when we're not willing to see the lesson, that's when it gets difficult, and that's when it causes disharmony in the connection. So it's not like you can only be happy after the lessons, because it's very possible to be happy throughout and during. What really helps twin flames to stay happy is self-awareness, to be really conscious, to be a conscious couple, to be very aware of the lessons when they come up, to be very aware of the wounds that are triggered, to be very aware of fears, past insecurities. When there is that awareness, and ideally for both of you, then that is what really helps to strengthen the connection to a more harmonious experience together. So it's not that you are only happy after you learn the lessons. I mean, yes, that very well may be the case. Once the lesson is done, it's like, okay, thank God we get the lesson. We can move on. You can be happy during that time as well. It just really depends on how conscious both of you are, and communication is so very key, so that you're both on the same page and you both know, like, you're just being open with what you're both experiencing. Because when there is that awareness and both twin flames are communicating, that is building a strong foundation for the connection. So twin flames can be happy at every stage, at every point. There just has to be communication in place, self-awareness, and I want to say accountability, like in what you're both bringing to the table, whether that's peace, love, harmony, or if it's insecurity, doubt, resentment, whatever the case is. So it's very possible to be happy at any stage. It just is a matter of how willing are both of you, how willing are you to look at, what exactly is going on, whether it's a lesson that you both need to learn and experience so that you can be happy in the relationship. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. Thank you so very much. So the next one is, I can't feel his energy as much, but sometimes I have random sexual urges and I get the chills. um, and I'm just chuckling because I feel like this the reading that I just did kind of picked up this energy where you, the viewer watching the reading, were having these passionate feelings towards your twin flame. And I did mention that it was sexual, but I get that they feel that towards you as well. So it's not just you. And when you can't feel the energy, it's because, again, in my last reading, um, the first card was Seven of Cups. And what I picked up was that both of you are very distracted. You're distracted by life. You're distracted about things that need your immediate attention. So if you're preoccupied with work, your career, um, even social media, like we're so distracted and involved in social media, um, that sometimes you disconnect. But it doesn't mean that your connection is severed. It just means you're both preoccupied. But then when you randomly pick up on them, especially like emotions are coming up randomly, or these like sexual urges randomly, you are picking up on your twin flame. They're connecting with you, they're thinking of you. And um, so it's very natural to feel disconnected, like you can't feel them and you feel like they have just gone out to lunch, like they're just not, you can't feel them. It's very natural, but give it a couple of hours, give it a couple of days. They may be even preoccupied. They may be on a trip. They may be traveling and they're just not in the same vicinity. So they're just experience on like overload, experiencing something, and that is what's, preventing this, from you connecting. You're always connecting, but it's like this you're just distracted from one another. So yeah, was that a question? Okay, so the next one is, what if what if my it says, what if twin flame is married? What if my twin flame is married? So this is a very tricky situation, of course, because it involves relationships, marriages, commitment, family, and it's a very tricky, delicate situation that I I don't take lightly, because it's about honoring people's agreements. It's about honoring marriage, which I I personally do. I just want to say that, yeah, I respect people's choices and commitments. So in saying that, in honor of that, the reason why twin flames meet when they are in other commitments, when they are married, is because twin flames come into your awareness to bring you to be aware of what you are not aware of. So say, for example, there is a married couple and one of them meets their twin flame. Their twin flame has come into their life to remind them, are you really happy? Is this who you really are? Did you forget that you are a painter? Did you forget your creative side? Do you forget that what love really means? Because it's always a choice. That married person doesn't have to leave their marriage. that person can be very happy with their soulmate or karmic, but both twin flames are left with that decision to allow, I don't want to use the word allow, but to give space so this twin flame has to give this twin flame space to experience married life with a different person, with a family, because that was their choice. So this twin flame has to respect that decision. If this twin flame decides for whatever reason on their own that, yeah, no, I got married for the wrong reasons, this isn't really who I am, then there's possibility of coming together. So it's about respecting one another's choices, but it's more like it happens so that you can remember who you truly are. And there's another type of scenario where twin flames meet and then one twin flame marries another, and like that is like the most heart-wrenching, heartbreaking thing, but it happens. Like it's happened with so many of my clients. It's almost so difficult for me to even have to witness when that happens. Or a twin flame all of a sudden finds out that their twin flame just recently got married because they were out of communication. They didn't know what was happening, and that's like the most devastating news, right? So what was my point? So that's another scenario that happens where a twin flames meet, but then they go into separation. They don't communicate. All of a sudden, they find out their twin flame married someone else. So they get married. Very unfortunate. It is their loss, but it is part of what a runner does. A runner will hide, and the best way to hide from you and love is by hiding behind someone else. You can't find them because they're with someone else. They're married to someone else, so you can't. There's no way that you will, like they'll be inaccessible because they're hiding. It's very unfortunate, but that's what happens a lot of the times. So all we can do is focus on ourselves. When this happens, is you just focus on you, focus on your healing, focus on your own happiness. Because in a past life, you did this to them. In a past life, you got together and then you went into separation for whatever reason, because it was too intense, it was scary, wounds come up, whatever. So you ran and you hid in another connection. You married someone else. So it's always to have both perspectives. So in one lifetime, it happens to you. In this lifetime, it happens to them. And it's all to gain experience, awareness, for expansion. Sorry, it's getting late, so my words are kind of like, my mind is like mush. I shouldn't wait so late to do this, to do these questions, but I really wanted to get it out for you. So yeah, it's just about you make the choice, and twin flames are meant to be. So in the meantime, you have a choice. You can also move on with your life, experience your life. Don't put it on hold because your twin flame is married, but just honor your twin flame connection for what it is. It's a love that never goes away, that is very sacred. But in this lifetime, both of you make certain choices that you have to play out. And sometimes it takes a very long time for these marriages to disassemble on their own. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But when they do, then you have your chance. And trust me, even if it takes a lifetime to wait, even 5 minutes with your twin flame is so beautiful. I'm not saying that there's only going to be 5 minutes, but like it can't compare to just any normal relationship, really. So it's very unfortunate when one twin flame is married or both twin flames are married, but union is still possible. It's still on the table. Just both twin flames have to be in the right frame of mind, make the choice, make the decision, and do it in a loving way that is not meant to hurt anybody. But just keep in mind that when you're doing something from your heart for following your truth, it works out for everyone in the end. So I want to end off with this. When you choose your twin flame, and you decide to leave a commitment, it does free that partner to be with their twin flame. It frees them to be happy as well. So I hope that helps. So the next question is, my twin flame unfollowed me out of the blue a few weeks ago. I'm so hurt and confused. So again, sometimes twin flames do this out of ego. Well, firstly, out of fear, because they're trying to cut the connection. They're trying to cut cords because they're afraid. They don't feel they deserve love. They're not used to having someone love them. They feel maybe like they're not accustomed to being loved. So they're like, this is weird. I'm out of here. They're running because it brings up a lot of pain from their childhood, a lot of suppressed pain, a lot of suppressed anger that hasn't been processed and healed. So they're running from that. So what are they going to do? They're going to cut all access. Just like I mentioned earlier, they'll get married. If they, getting married is like unfollowing you. Like they're just like cutting everything possible. So what that means is that there's a part of you that you're cutting yourself off from. You're cutting yourself off from your source. You're cutting yourself off from your own love. You're cutting yourself off from love. And again, that stems from a pattern from childhood, from past lives. Your twin flame runs from you or cuts you off because you're cut off from your own source of love. The lesson is to learn how to fill your own cup of love. Yeah, so twin flames will do all kinds of things to really cut the connection, but even after years of running, they can't hide from their heart. They can't hide from what they're feeling. Eventually it comes out. So in the meantime, just focus on learning how to love yourself more and being able to face what you're running away from, because there's something about you or something in your life that you're not ready to face. Because when you are facing things in your life, your twin flame will be able to face you, kind of thing. They can't face you now because you're not facing something important in your life. Like you're running from something as well. So these are all amazing questions or statements. I don't know if they're questions. The next one is, what do you do when your twin flame shuts down? So again, this is a mirror that you're shutting down from your own emotions as well. You're shutting down from your source. You're shutting down. Your inner child is you're shutting down from your inner child. So when they shut down, just think of it as this. If you think of this as a rule to abide by, whatever your twin flame is doing to you is a mirror of what you're doing to yourself. And the way we change something in the external is by changing it within us. So if they're shutting down, it's because you're shutting something down. You're shutting down your creativity. You're shutting down your, I heard leadership. Someone needs to hear that. Some of you are meant to be leaders, but you're like shutting it down. You're like, I don't want to be a leader. That's too much work. But twin flames are born natural leaders. You are the leaders that are meant to show the rest of the world how to love unconditionally. So if there's a message for someone out there about leadership. You're shutting down from your leadership. People are looking to you, or you're meant to lead people, even through your example. Even if you're a parent, you're a leader. You're a leader of your family, of your children or family members. And because they look to the strong one to lead. Twin flames are the strongest out there. You're the strongest souls because this twin flame journey builds warriors, because it's the hardest journey. It's like those of you who have watched like Lord of the Rings, it's that kind of journey. It's like to hell and back. That's what you go through, like internally, emotionally, on a soul level, just like wrings you inside and out. And that's why people give up on the twin flame journey, because it's not easy. But twin flames are born for this. You are a born leader. So I'm trying to tie this back. So you're shutting down from that. You're shutting down from your leadership responsibility. You're shutting down from life. What have you given up on? Is your twin flame your only source of joy and happiness? Yeah, I know for a lot of us that can feel like it, but our twin flame is not meant to be the source of our joy. It feels like they are, especially when you first meet. You're like, you're my entire happiness. You're my reason to live. No, they are not. You are your reason to live. You, not them. Don't give them that power, because you're giving them your power. I just don't want my laptop to shut off. What does that say? So yeah, don't shut yourself off from life. Okay, I gotta hurry because it says my disc is full. I'm gonna try to get through these questions as much as possible. If I can't finish it in this video, I will do another video after I've made space. So I hope that helps. What do you do when you're okay? We just did that. How to heal a wounded masculine. So the best way to help heal anyone is to heal ourselves. We can't do someone else's healing for them, but twin flames, because you are mirrors, whatever happens one happens to the other. Even if you are on opposite sides of the world, planet, universe, whatever impacts one impacts the other. So focusing on your healing is like miracle for them. They still have to do their own growth and their own awareness. But you'll notice that it heals your connection. Because when you take on your own healing, you not only heal yourself, you heal the planet. So when you heal yourself, you heal your twin flame. and vice versa, whether you're feminine, masculine, or whatever. Yeah, these are just describing energies. So all excellent questions. How will I know he's the one that I have met him? I said this in my other video Q&A. You will know they are the one 100% when you have come to a point on your own life journey that you know who you are. You know who you are meant to be in the world. You know your life purpose. It's pretty much it. Like, you just know who you are. You know who you stand for. You know what you stand for. You know what's important to you. Like, when you completely know yourself inside and out, and you don't question who you are, that no one, it doesn't matter what anyone says about you, what they say doesn't matter because you know who you are. Like, no one else can ever make you question yourself. And that's difficult, especially in this day and age with social media. It's like for every comment, it makes you question yourself, but we can't allow that. And the whole lesson for that is so that you will come to learn who you are. And it won't matter what anyone says about you, because you'll be like, I know who I am. A million people can say what they think about me, but I know who I am. So when you know who you are, you know who your twin flame is. At the beginning, it's hard to know because you doubt in even the connection, but that's because you don't know who you are yet. You're still discovering, and it takes time. It's different for everyone. You know, you could come to realize who you are at a very early age, but just think again, you're growing. As time goes on, you grow. So I'll be turning 53 this year. I'm completely different from when I was 33. I'm even different from who I was when I was 43. And at each of those stages, I had completely different occupations. So I was completely different. And you will be completely different. So it will take time for you to know who you are. Because at every stage, you are experiencing something different. And those experiences are what shape you. And when you know who you are, it takes time to really know who you are, because say you're 28 or you're 33, who you are at those ages are going to be completely different 10 years from now, 5 years from now. But the accumulation of that experience molds and shapes you to who you are now and who you will be, because it's always changing. So when you get to a point where I know who I am, I know who I am. And yes, we will continue to grow. But as long as you know who you are today, you will know who your twin flame is. There's just like no shadow of a doubt. And it takes time for that to happen. It just takes time. It takes experience. It takes a lot of self-awareness. But you'll get there. It feels so close. I can taste my marriage with my twin flame. Why union is not here yet? So there's still something that's blocking you. You have some unresolved fear, insecurity, and doubt. So even though you feel it 100%, every time you have a doubt, you're blocking it. And that's with any type of success in anything. Like, you can feel it. You know that you are meant for success, but that doubt is like an obstacle. So be very aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts are very powerful. And also, it could be a belief. It could be a belief that you have that really examine, what are your beliefs about love? What are your beliefs about true love? Does true love really exist? can relationships last a lifetime? Like, these are all important questions to ask yourself, because it will help you discover what your beliefs are, and your beliefs are what prevent you. So if you have something, if you grew up seeing marriages not last, then you may have an underlying belief that marriages don't last or true love doesn't exist. So it's really to look at yourself and what's holding you back. And again, it could be fears, insecurities, inner child wounds. Could even be your inner child that is blocking you, because your inner child is afraid of change. Your inner child is afraid of losing you. Okay, excellent questions. Moving on. Why am I thinking of him daily after 8 months of no contact, trying to forget and let go? You'll never stop thinking of them because you're connected. And whenever they think of you, you'll pick up on that. It's like telepathy. Just think of actual twins that are born, from the same womb. They share already this telepathy. We all have that, but twins have it more so, because you're created from the same egg that's split apart, right? Twin flames are created from the same flame that has been split apart. So you'll always pick up when they're thinking of you. When twin flames have both decided to completely forget each other, like you both said, I don't want this twin flame journey, and you both end up with someone else, the way to really forget your twin flame is to become unaware, to have no self-awareness, to just kind of be a zombie. And that's even painful. You can just, if you want to forget them, you can just do whatever you can to distract yourself. But if you watched a movie called The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, is that what it's called? I don't know if I'm mixing up the words. But that movie really came to mind because two people really tried to forget each other. They did whatever they could to forget each other, but they couldn't. So that movie just came to mind in your situation, because you're trying to forget your twin flame and there's been no contact. But there could be a reason why there's no contact, is because they're scared, they're running, but they still love you. The reason why you can't forget him is because he still loves you. You still have love for him. You still have unfinished business. I mean, try hard enough and you'll forget. That's why people get married to soulmates and karmics and have families, so that they can forget their twin flame. I'm not saying that that's what is going to happen to everyone, but it happens because it's too painful. Sometimes people do not know how to receive love because they feel they don't deserve it, and that's out of woundedness. So the next one is, with twin flame telepathy, how do you best decipher what's coming from them versus yourself external? If it's a random message, it's most likely from your twin flame. If you just randomly hear a song and you're like, oh, that was out of the blue, that's most likely your telepathic connection. it's like it's kind of like asking, well, how do you trust your intuition? So for me, it's like you're asking me, how do I decipher what is intuition and what's coming from me? I can't, because it's the same. When I read intuitively and when I channel energy, I'm deciphering what I'm getting, but it's also coming from me. It's coming from my consciousness, my awareness, my filter. And the reason why I've developed this ability to read so accurately for my clients is because I trust it. I trust that whatever's coming from me is what's so. Like I'm reading, like I trust that what I'm reading, what is coming to me is the message. Like that's how much I trust my intuition. I just know. So when you just trust it, you know that that is actual telepathy. And it is coming from you. But when you trust it, it's more like, well, I am receiving this, and you can, whether you're like, you'll be able to know that it's not just you. When you begin to trust your intuition, trust your telepathy, just trust it. Okay, so what if you're each married? Okay, so we did go over that. Union feels so real in 3D. Is it possible? Yes, 100%. For all twin flames, especially in these times. And what I want to add is that is why what's happening in the world has been happening, especially over the last couple of years, is to bring twin flames together, because the world needs it. The world needs love. The world needs healing. So now more than ever, the universe is supporting union to help our planet. My DM's karmic may make me her best friend. What can I do now? So you have your twin flame, and their karmic partner made you their best friend. What I'm picking up, because when this happens, it's a pattern from the past. In a past life, your twin flame and you were married, and your sibling had a connection with your twin flame. So in this lifetime, it's kind of repeating your, what are they called? Not a triad, not a threesome, triangle, love triangle. It's getting late. So in a past life, you and your twin flame were together, and then you had a best friend, or like a sibling, and they had a connection. So this lifetime you have a love triangle, in your past life you had a love triangle, and that probably happened in consecutive lifetimes so that you can heal it, change the pattern, so that everyone falls into place. So you and your twin flame are together, the karmic and their twin flame are together. So be aware of the pattern. And it's meant for you to heal with this so-called best friend, because in a past life you were siblings, or you were best friends, and this love triangle happened and it all got messed up. So you're meant to heal with this karmic. Send them unconditional love. That's the only way to heal and to stop the pattern. Love them unconditionally. Do I continue to have faith? At what point do I move on? Excellent question. I mean, these are all excellent questions, but yes, always have faith. That is a lesson. How do you have faith in something that you have no proof? You know, it's like those of you who may have a religious background, we're taught to believe in something that we cannot see. It's just like believing in love. Like, does love really exist? Because, or is that something we just made up as humans to connect, to feel better, to be happy? Does love really exist? What proof of there is there of love? We just have faith in it. We just know, we all know that it exists. So that's because we have faith in something we cannot see. So you must always have faith in your connection because it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And at what point do you move on? The greatest gift that we have, not only on our journey, but as humans, is the gift of free will. At any point, we can choose. We can choose what we want. We can also choose what we don't want, which is what many of us do. But it's always about choosing. So at what point do you move on? You can make that choice at any point. But understand that when you make the choice of moving on, that you understand the repercussions, but you stick to that path. And sometimes it's like you move on only to find out years later that you do come into union. And it's all about like choice, your choice of moving on, and have they made the choice to move on. And remember, the runner, they're moving on out of fear. You're moving on because you want to live your life. You want to be happy. Again, it doesn't mean that it's impossible for you to come back into union. You just have to be open to, okay, it could happen or it may not happen, but I'm going to be happy and live my life anyway. So you can move on at any point, but you must honor what you choose. Hope that helps. So someone is saying, I love him with all my heart, him, ? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. It just says, I love him with all my heart, him, ? So I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a question. But hey, if you're just stating that, then yes, amazing. Have you come across twins who work the exact same job? Exact same job? In my readings, no, but not to say that that's not possible. Twin flames they share similarities, they share same interests, skill set, hobbies, interests. And even when they don't, they still complement each other in some way. So even if I find that twin flames work together in support of each other's career. Like that is quite common, but it is also very possible and natural for twin flames to have the exact same job because you're very similar. That's why the word twin, because you're very similar. So it makes total sense that, you know, twin flames have the same job. Even like twins, like identical fraternal twins, it's very natural that they share same livelihood, jobs, careers. And even if they don't, it's okay. Even if twins don't, it's only because, again, it's about having a wide, varied amount of experience to share. to evolve from. So I think that's all we had. Yeah. So we just have 2 more questions about the inner child, so please do stay tuned. Yeah, okay, so what else can I do to make my inner child feel confident that I will never abandon her? So picture in your mind that you have a child and they were left in your care to care for them. You have to get to know them, right? What would you do to get to know them? What would you do to make them feel like you're going to be there for them, you're going to take care of them, that they can trust you? So any type of trust building exercises, or just saying that you're going to do something and then following through with that. That is the best way to get any child and your inner child to trust you. So you say, okay, we're gonna take a nap at 4 o'clock because we're feeling tired. And a lot of times our inner child feels emotional, cranky, angry, upset because you're physically tired. So out of care for your physical body and for your inner child's well-being, emotional well-being, you say, okay, we're gonna take a nap at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock rolls around, 5 o'clock rolls around, you still haven't taken a nap. Your inner child was like, well, you said we were gonna do something and you didn't. So I don't trust you. So we have to honor what we say and follow through with it. If you say, okay, tomorrow we're going to treat ourselves, we're going to buy something nice, or we're going to go for ice cream, or we're going to take a bubble bath, or we're going to play, do something fun. And when you do it, then your inner child knows that you're really there for them. So it's almost like being like a parent, to an actual child, like a child that you've been given to take care of. This is your inner child. So in ways that they don't feel abandoned is by always communicating with them, checking in with them, how they're feeling, saying that no matter what, even when we're with my twin flame, I'm not going to forget you, because I'm still going to make time for you. We're still going to do what we want. We're still going to play. We're still going to have fun. No one else is the boss of me. We're still going to get to do what we want. We're still going to have that freedom to do what we want and to play when we want, to have fun when we want. So just in that kind of communication, your inner child will feel not so afraid and will begin to trust you and to know that you're not going to abandon them. So thank you so very much for bringing that up. Very important questions. How do you best decipher messages coming from your inner child versus your ego? So this topic about inner child and ego is very debatable. I even kind of like researched it online, and I feel like the ego and the inner child are very similar. I feel like the ego and the inner child operate pretty much in the same way. Excuse me. Ego is about survival, and the inner child just wants to survive. The inner child is also afraid of death, which is also the ego is afraid of death. So I would say that the ego, when you're hearing messages from your ego, that is part of your inner child. It's part of your development as an inner child, inner teenager, adolescent. Our ego is what grows from our childhood experience. It's the memory of all experiences, memories of pain and fear and hurt that's accumulated. So that is the energy of the inner child energy, is that of the ego. Because the ego also is very defensive and is all about protecting oneself. So I feel like the inner child and the ego are like they go hand in hand. So you can receive messages from your inner child, knowing that that is the ego part of us, because the inner child does not want to die. The ego does not want to die. They're afraid of death. They don't understand that, they don't understand about souls. They don't understand about energy and transitioning. They just think that we are this body, and once this body is done, then they're done. So there's a lot of fear that is carried within the inner child and the ego because of the fear of death. And I'm not saying that death is not a scary thing. They say like that death and taxes, right? Or yeah, scary thing. Yeah, people anyway, I digress. So it's really you can trust that the messages that you get are ego based, because that's what the inner child is based on. The inner child is based on 3D, tangible. The inner child doesn't really understand, like when the inner child is in fear, doesn't understand. I want to say the inner child expresses or experiences life through our physical body. And our ego really identifies with our physical body. So I hope that helps. So yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have. So I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to send in your questions. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate, your time, spending your precious time here. And I'm pretty sure you've had to press pause throughout this video at so many different points. So I appreciate you coming back and watching to the end. And I want to invite you, if this work resonates with you, I invite you to join my 12-week online program. This program is designed to stay in alignment. Bring yourself back into inner alignment, because that's what union is. Union is about union with self, union within, and union with source. And then we attract union with our twin flame. But this also brings us into alignment with every other area of life. So it helps you on so many different levels, but also in different areas of life. And so for watching this video to the end, I will be offering you a discounted price on the 12-week online program, because keep in mind, new habits take time to form. So with 3 months of working with me, every week you receive a new video. It helps you bring yourself back into alignment energetically. So your inner masculine, your inner feminine, and your inner child. So we go through 12 weeks, and there are exercises for you to do. And it's really just to keep you in alignment, keep you focused, keep you from like regressing to the past. So please do message me, and I would be so honored to support you with my work, even with my inner child healings and with my readings, which I'm still able to do. So please do message me. I would really love to work with you. So again, thank you so very much. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Keep sending in your questions, and I will keep doing my best to answer them for you. So until next time, I'm wishing you all so much love and peace.